How is losing weight like gardening? Hello, it's Dr. Ginny Trierweiler here, founder of Slender for Good, and I'd love to help women over 40 and 50 to lose all their excess weight. I struggled with weight for a long time myself, and it was really starting to impact my health and my happiness. So finally, after many years of failure with weight loss efforts, I decided to really commit myself, and I studied the best literature and science on weight loss and eating and habit change. And gradually, I gained an understanding of how this works. And I realized that it's more complex than we tend to think. And that's one of the reasons that we tend to fail, because we're being sold a whole lot of really simple solutions. And in some ways, the way this works is simple, but not under our current circumstances. We really need to have a little better understanding of how it's complex. Because a lot of people have this idea that it's about calories in and calories out. All I got to do is eat less and exercise more, and I will lose the weight. But that isn't how our bodies work. Our bodies are not mechanisms like that. They are complex adaptive systems, and they're going to protect us when we cut our calorie intake. And one of the ways that they'll protect us is, instead of starting to lose weight, or we might lose weight at first, but as we cut calories, our bodies get concerned, is one way to talk about it. They say, seems like there's not enough food coming in, so let's slow down the metabolism. And they also send us a lot of hunger signals and tell us, you need to go eat. So this is why a lot of times when we use calorie cutting approaches, at least 99% of the time, according to the research, we not only gain the weight back, hold on to the weight, have trouble losing it, or we lose it and then we gain it back and then some. And it's easy to understand once you learn those things about the body. So I decided I really needed to change how I understood how my body works. And this is what I help my clients with. And it's like gardening. When I saw my neighbors' beautiful gardens, I wanted beautiful gardens myself. So I went and bought some beautiful flowers, and I put them out in the soil and went about my life. And later, I don't know, some months later, I went to look and see, how's that garden doing? And it was not a beautiful garden. Couldn't even see most of the flowers I had planted. And it was just a mess of weeds. So having a more realistic understanding of gardening, you realize that you really need to give enough nutrients to the flowers that you plant, or the vegetables that you plant, whatever you're planting that you want to have grow there. And that nutrients have to do with sun and fertilizer and water, at least. And you really need to do weeding. You need to keep the aggressive plants out of there that will get rid of the plants that you're trying to grow. And so there's at least those two things. You need to give enough of the right nutrients, and you need to weed out the aggressive stuff that's going to be destructive. And then there's other things, like some of the plants require some pest control, and some of them do better when you do pruning. And so there's these different pieces that when you garden, and I have never become a good gardener, but when you garden, you have to do these different pieces to make it work. It's not like there's only one way to do it, but it does require these different pieces. And it's the same with eating. I thought I was eating pretty well. As I'm an intelligent, educated person, I thought I was eating pretty well. But I found, as I studied all these things, that I really needed to increase the highly nutritious foods I was taking in quite a lot, just like with the garden needing the nutrients. And I really needed to decrease destructive foods and drinks quite a bit also to have the results that I wanted. And a third thing that I needed to do is I needed to change some mindsets. So there are mindsets that keep some of our bad habits going, and a lot of times we're not even aware of them. And I had this really strong belief that every time I felt lightheaded, it meant I had low blood sugar, which was probably true, but I also believed that meant I needed to eat. And instead of finding a way to really stabilize my blood sugar in a more healthy way, I was just eating every time that I felt lightheaded. And this was leading to sort of a continual situation of gaining more and more weight all the time. And those are 3 of the 7 steps. You have to increase your highly nutritious foods, reduce destructive foods and drinks, and change the mindsets that are supporting bad eating habits. I know for me, studying these things, studying about the body and eating and weight loss, it took me a long time to really get my head around it all. And there's a lot I'm sure there, as soon as you start to learn something in depth, you learn how many things you don't know about it, and that continues to be true. But gradually I figured out the pieces, the 7 steps it took for me to lose all my excess weight. And I did, I lost it all. I dropped 5 clothing sizes and I regained tremendous health and vitality. And now I help my clients implement the 7 steps so that they can achieve the same transformation. And once you stop fighting your body, you start working with your body and your brain, and you put in place these 7 necessary steps, you can achieve the slender, healthy, right-sized body that you dream of. So I hope this was helpful to you. I would love to get your feedback. How does this gardening analogy work for you? And if you'd like to learn more about the 7-step Slender for Good approach, follow us on Facebook on the Slender for Good page. I share articles and research and videos and information about upcoming spaces in my program on the Facebook page. So I'd love to see you there. Meantime, have a great day. Thanks for watching. Take good care, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.